Good morning, good morning, good morning, my beautiful people. Okay, so I am just getting myself dressed and alive, and man, I'm getting some serious wrinkles and older. So, I want to let you know something that happened to me yesterday, and I think it's really important that you all are kind of aware of this. Um, so the first part of my story is that I'm an idiot. I This is one of the dumbest things I've ever done, and I didn't just do it once. I did it like 3 times now, and I should have learned the first time, but doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, right? So I'm in that category of the boss. I'm a dumb boss. So, 1998. I I had an issue in Globe because we lived in Globe, Arizona. Actually, we lived in Miami, Arizona. And it was a bounce check. I'll just be honest. We There was a scenario where back then they used to use pink and yellow receipts. Well, we cashed our check. We received a yellow receipt or a pink receipt. I don't remember anymore. And we went to Vegas for our anniversary. And while we were in Vegas, we found out our thing didn't process. Long story short, they gave us the wrong receipt. Apparently, back then, the colored receipts then went to the main bank, and that's where they processed the money. And then it got put into your account until that was done. Well, because we had the wrong color of receipt, that never happened. So when we got back, we got it straightened out. But in the meantime, some checks had gone out, and we missed one. At any rate, yeah, just not the most organized. We were young and dumb, whatever. So we found out later, and I had to pay it off, no problem. So at that time, I was paying Miami Court. And then Miami Court closed at vaguely the same time, and it was like $300 back then. Anyway, it got moved to Globe, and they lost my payment information. I didn't keep track of it at all. I was just like, here's $300. Goodbye. Have a nice day. And so I think I probably threw the receipt in the back seat of the car. I don't know. At any rate, so when it got transferred over to Globe, uh, Globe didn't get the payment information. So then, and it was like 10 years. I'm on my way to work. I get pulled over and I'm arrested for warrant for this bounce check. I'm like, what the fuck? What? Anyway, so cleared, same thing. Went to Globe, went and got this worked out. And then it was like $600 or something. So, of course, it doubled in price over 10 years. And I paid it off, and somehow that didn't go away, and I didn't bother to keep the paperwork. And I think I kept it for like 5 years. 10 years later, here we go again. So the last time I did this, now I at that time baking was a little bit different. We didn't have like I could look at my phone and click and take a picture of my receipt or anything like that. Went through the bank account, and you called it in and blah blah blah, and voila, eventually you paid it off. And I didn't hear from him after I paid it off, so I was like, okay, now we're good. I'm not moving, I'm not nothing, I'm sitting still because we had just moved here. And I don't know, anyway, we moved from the RV to the house. We've been robbed. We've had issues. So, bringing it to current day, they came after me again. And I'm like, gosh, okay, and now it's a grand, of course. And so I'm like, okay, let's just settle this. Now we've got I finally learned my lesson. I'm keeping strategic paperwork on this now. And so I had a payment come up. And so here we are. Yeah, I am paying it again. So it's stupid tax at this point on me. It's my bad. So I realized that I've got the cash in hand. Finally get paid. I'm gonna go pay this, and I realize it's the 12th. Crap, and it's due on the 15th, and I know the 15th Sunday. Yeah, but knowing Globe the way that I personally do now, we have a love-hate relationship. I am like, well, if they open it on Monday, I'm still going to have a warrant for my arrest before they even open it, because they are Johnny on the spot if they're going to come get your butt. And so I'm like, with my luck and the way that this has been going with me, I'm not going to press it. I'm not going to take the chance that it won't get there until Monday morning. They're closed, of course, on Saturday. So I'm like, well, I'm going to go, because I had determined that I was always going to mail it in. And that way I had the receipt, and I'm doing money orders. So I have a money order receipt. I have pictures of my mail. I have a receipt from the mail. I got this. And I've got my online banking where I take a picture. Look, went out. So at this point in time, I'm like, I don't want to press it. I'm going to go ahead and do this call-in system, because I can take a picture on my online banking showing it went out. We're good. And so I call this number, and it's for, listen very closely, it's for NCOURT. And from what I understand, it's nationwide. They take nationwide payments for all of the court facilities. And I would think this would have come to an alarm of somebody at some point in time, because this is traffic tickets, it's parking tickets, it's any type of fine that you have to pay through the court system, to the court system. So okay, I call, and I'm on hold for, it was about an hour, and finally, and they do have employees talking to you. It's not a computer system. So I'm going through the whole thing. I've given her the citation case, all that, all the numbers and the amount, and I've given her my card, and she's like, okay. And then she says to me, listen closely. By authorizing this payment, you are agreeing to revoke your legal and constitutional rights. And it disconnects. What? What did she just say? And I'm like, surely not. I'm abiding by what I agreed I would do to the court, which is make payments. What is she talking about? This isn't a court order. This isn't, they are asking me to revoke my own rights, for me to surrender my rights as a U.S. citizen. So, even as a person, so I'm like freaking out by then, because I'm like, did they process it? And I look at my online banking, it didn't process yet. I jump in the car like you would not believe, and I go straight to the bank. And while I'm in the car, I've got them ringing in again, because I know it's going to take a while for somebody to answer, because I've got to go through the whole system. And so it's ringing. And, well, I'm listening to their funky music. And I get to the bank. I walk in. I'm still waiting. I tell the bank teller what's happened. She looks at the account. She says, no, it hasn't processed. I say, okay, quick. Let's take that money out. Give me a money order. I'm getting over to the post office. And if there's anything you can do to make sure that doesn't process, no problem. The banks here are great. People here are great. So I take the money order and I run over and I made notes and I've got my paperwork and I had to make a copy so I could put it in there as to what's going on. And I go over to the post office, and as I get in the post office parking lot, they answer. And I'm like, okay, so here's what happened. I was talking to so and so, and I did all this, and at the end, it said something about me volunteering to revoke my own constitutional and legal rights. He goes, just yeah, and I'm like, what constitutional and legal rights are you guys referring to? He says, oh, that's policy, and it's all of them. All of my constitutional rights and all of my legal rights. Well, yeah, that's our policy. That's how to make a payment, a not a court order revoked whatever legal. You're asking me to surrender so that I can pay the court system. Yeah, it's our policy. It's called in court. If you're making payments through there, I am so sorry. Because you might have already hosed yourself. If in the future you get a traffic ticket that you want to pay, don't pay it through their system. Send in the payment. Nobody should be asked to surrender their rights. That's just ridiculous. So ultimately, I ended up going into the post office paying $27 to overnight mail that check to the court system in Globe so that it wouldn't be late. It was arrived on time, and I wouldn't get in any more trouble, and I didn't surrender my rights. And I made sure that the guy on the phone removed all my information and understood that I was not going to go there. So beware. I don't know if any other system does this, any other payment system, but please, please be cautious on what you agree to do for the matter of convenience. Because to me, I'd rather just get arrested than to have all of my rights revoked from me or to surrender my rights. It's just ridiculous. So, that's how we're starting our day, folks. Be safe. Don't be stupid like me. Keep your paperwork. I don't know what I was thinking. I just wasn't thinking. I learned my lesson. It's been pretty expensive over the years, but there you have it. I love you. Take care. Peace.